Ethiopia really helped me learn to appreciate the tiny small things in life. Back in where I'm from, like, you know, in these Western countries, like people always find a reason to be like depressed and sad rather than looking at like, wow, we're so blessed in so many ways, right? So,
wow, this is nice. That's because you went back to make money, now you're rich.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, I like the content.
Super rich.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since we did a Buna With Desta, but we are back. Happy New Year for those who follow the normal calendar, not normal, but the Gregorian calendar. Yes, today I'm excited to host an amazing traveler by the name Maya Travels. If you watch Ethiopian content, you definitely have come along his YouTube videos, and I can't wait to hear his story and to bring it to you. Hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Welcome.
So, hello everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And as you have been keeping up with my story, I've also been keeping up with yours. So it's the pleasure is honestly mine.
Mine too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be here sitting with you. And it's a long time coming, but we made it happen.
For sure.
It's cool. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, tell people who you are before we get into the
So
story.
if you don't know me, which probably most of you don't, my name is Meyer Travels. My name is Meyer, but my channel on YouTube is Meyer Travels. I'm a YouTube content creator, specifically a travel vlogger. I love traveling and I love meeting new people. I love learning about new cultures, learning about the history of a place, and just exploring the world. And so I recently took on this journey of quitting my job, just kind of dropping everything and becoming a nomad and just traveling and making content. So I'm pretty new to the game, but yeah, I'm loving it so far.
You're doing well. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So tell us, one thing that made me want to do Buna With Desta with you is the fact that I got to learn after watching your videos that you were living in Ethiopia for a longer time.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
So I was actually living in Ethiopia for about a year, a little bit more than a year. What brought me here was I was originally a teacher in China. So I actually lived in China for 4 years, and so that sparked my love for teaching, and actually also sparked my love for traveling. You know, I'm from America.
Okay.
Born and raised in America. So like, you know, in America, I don't know if you've met other Americans, but we kind of get stuck in a bubble. And we feel like we are the world and there's not much else outside. You know, it happens.
That's not true.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much more to see, and I urge anyone out there who hasn't traveled and you have a chance to, go for it. Get out of your comfort zone. That's my saying. But yeah, so, you know, working in China as a teacher for a few years, and then I met a lot of great people from East Africa. I mean, Kenya, Somalia, Ethiopia, and many different countries. And I wanted to get out of China and go somewhere really different. And so I picked Ethiopia. I actually applied to a job in Tanzania and one in Ethiopia. And here in Kazanches, for those who are from Addis Ababa, that's like my old hood. I call that my hood. I'm from the block, Kazanches. I'm a Kazanches boy.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, applied for a job from China, got the interview, did great, they loved it, I came, and I started working here as a teacher. And I just fell in love with the place, you know, and most importantly, just fell in love with the people. I think Ethiopian people are really, really good, kind-hearted, welcoming people who have a strong, rich history and culture as well. You know, I come from a place, America, where we don't really have too much of a culture, right? It's a melting pot. I mean, you can't really point your finger as to what is American culture. Well, maybe Hollywood, you know, going out and getting drunk, you know, there's really not much culture, you know. But here, the food, the history, the dressing, the dancing, the music, there's so much culture, right? And so to experience that as someone who never really got to experience that, though my family is from Pakistan, so I do have that culture, but being in a place, living in a place with this much culture and rich history, I just fell in love with it, and that's what kept me here, and obviously being a teacher was very fulfilling, and yeah, so I mean, that's why I was here for over a year, and so I was able to learn a little bit of Amharic. So if you guys watch my videos based in Ethiopia, you'll see that I'm able to speak a little bit of Amharic.
Please take a break. He speaks more Amharic than I do, so if you've watched me speaking Amharic in a video, like now, more Amharic than I do, and I was like, woof, okay, that's nice.
I try.
That's
think,
good.
like I said, I said this to you off camera. I'm not the smartest or the sharpest tool in the shed.
Who led you this statement?
But I love picking up new language. Like even when I lived in China, I learned Chinese.
Oh wow.
So I speak Chinese too. Yeah.
Oh wow. So can you say you qualify to speak Amharic? You speak Amharic?
I don't speak full Amharic.
Oh, okay.
Enough to just get by.
You can hear what they say?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
okay,
I can say basic
enough,
words.
fair enough,
Yeah, I can get through. I think one thing that's important, especially when you're vlogging, is like just to be able to break the ice with people and when you show them that you're trying to learn their language.
And Ethiopians appreciate that
Exactly,
a lot. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned about just people in general. Whether you're vlogging or not, to break the ice is just let them know that you're trying.
Okay. So how long did you stay here?
Stay as how long? When I was living here, I was living here for a little bit more than a year. So I'll say a year and a few months. Yeah.
What would you say was your biggest challenge? You'll also share I feel like you shared the best, but maybe you have a better one.
Yeah.
Which you said is experiencing the culture, people are friendly and hospitable. What would you say was your one biggest challenge? Because I get this a lot of now I've stayed here for like a year. I'd love to hear what was yours.
Okay, so I would say the biggest challenge for me was just I guess when you come from a place like America, you get used to like creature comforts. What I mean by creature comforts is like, we don't know the rest of the world, like Wi-Fi, we expect it to be 100% like fast, or like, that like electricity should just always be there, or like, the water running and stuff like that. Like even in China, those things are pretty
What name did you use? I like that name. What did you call it?
What's that?
Creature something?
Creature comforts.
Creature comforts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the things you get used to maybe living in some of these countries where like we don't experience the other side of things, right? Like I said, I'm an ignorant American, so it took me a long time to get out of that shell.
Yeah.
And Ethiopia did that for me a lot, and that's why I thank this place. But yeah, at first it was tough because even in China, like all of those things are available and plenty. So I guess like Wi-Fi and like service and like just like the mebarat, when mebarat goes away,
That's electricity.
Electricity, yeah. So mebarat yellow, yeah. And the water, like today in my guest house that I'm staying in, Keba guest house, by the way, guys, you can go stay there. They're really cool people there. My water wasn't running.
Okay.
So I was like, oh God, what do I? But I'm used to it at this point. I was like, oh, it's cool, whatever, just do my hair. I went downstairs, they had some little bit of water, I was like, clean up, whatever. Now you guys know I didn't take a shower today. Yeah.
Let me tell you something funny. In the morning, I was telling someone what I'm up to, like I'm excited, I'm meeting this vlogger, and then like my plan, it's very in the morning before I left bed, but then I was like, but I'm dreading that I'll go in the shower and find there's no water.
Yeah.
But thank God there was.
Well, listen, if you didn't shower, it's all good because I didn't shower either.
I have days I don't, but
but this is not because I didn't want to shower, guys. I love to shower. It's just,
exclusive title. My travels does not take baths. I'm joking.
They're gonna judge me, man. It's a dirty man.
No.
But so you get used to it, and I was like, oh, cool. At first, I'd be like, oh my God, there's no water. I would like freak out about it. And now I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. No water, we'll figure it out. Put on a hat if my hair looks messy, whatever. You just get used to things, and now I appreciate those things. So now when you do have electricity and you do have water, you're like, man,
and
this is a blessing.
Wi-Fi at all the speeds.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a blessing. So it actually, and I always tell people this, like I think Ethiopia really helped me learn to appreciate the tiny small things in life. Not just because of like not having them all the time, but also you see people out here like who don't have much, but they still push forward. Their resiliency is amazing. They still put a smile on their face. They say hello. They talk to you. They're happy. I mean, maybe deep down inside they're struggling, but they still find a reason to get up every day. And I think like back in where I'm from, like in these Western countries, like people always find a reason to be like depressed and sad, rather than looking at like, wow, we're so blessed in so many ways, right? So I think this country really helped me appreciate what I have and the blessings that I've been given. So
Oh wow, that's nice. So then you went back to the States?
After living here, so I went back to the States. My contract finished at Swedish school in Kazanches, and then I was like, you know what, I need to make more money. I was now getting into the phase in my life where I was like, okay, for the last few years, I've been doing what I love, but I haven't been making much money. You know, it's always like, one thing or the other. The grass is always greener, so it's like, it's tough finding that balance, right? And I feel like finally in my life I'm finding it, but like this is like my early 20s and I'm still trying to figure things out. So I'm like, I love teaching, but I'm making like, $1,000 a month or whatever. How am I ever going to save if I want to have a family or whatever? And so I was like, you know what, let me go back and do something. So I actually went back and I started.
So now you're rich. Oh wow, this is nice. And because you went back to make money, now you're rich.
Yeah.
Oh okay, that's right. Oh I like the confidence.
Super rich. Super. I have so much money.
Wow.
That's why I wear the same shirt every single day.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Then you're like, rich guy, let's travel the world.
Yeah, rich man, I wish. I'm a humble man. But no, I like I said, I did okay.
Yeah.
I went back home. I started selling real estate. Like I was selling homes.
Yeah.
And that comes along with you had to go to school for it for a little bit. Got my real estate license and I started selling. I always tell people, I was telling you this off camera.
Mm-hmm.
The one gift that God gave me is the ability to be able to communicate with people. So I use that in everything that I do. And sales requires good communication.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. Plus my family, we've always been in real estate in some facet or another. So I grew up around it and it's something that comes to me very easily.
Oh, that's nice. I applaud any salesperson because that means then you can make it anywhere.
Yeah. So it's a tough gig because you don't get paid until you make the sale and close it, But thank God I did well in that. And I was working there. I was working back home for like 3-4 years, and COVID hit. Wasn't able to travel. I'm sure you know how that feels.
Yeah.
I'm sure anybody who's watching this knows how.
Travel is addictive. Like you feel like a wound that has not been scratched for some time. Yeah.
So when that happened, I was like, I started getting into depression. Like really, and I never felt depressed in my life. This was the first time in my life that I really started to feel like a deep kind of like depression and anxiety and these feelings that I just never felt. I'm getting into my upper 20s now. And at this point in my life, I'm not going to tell you how old I am now. It's my birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you. But I'm sure anybody who watches my videos, I've mentioned it several times. But started to feel really like down and depressed about like just everything. And what's crazy is that's when I realized like, doesn't matter how much money you're making, doesn't matter what you have materialistic wise, you can still be really unhappy. That's why they say like money doesn't buy happiness. Oh, okay. It's true. Yeah. But
I agree, it does in some extent, but it doesn't to some extent. Yeah.
So like, it's easy to say that if you have tons of money, right? Like rich people be like, money doesn't buy happiness. Yeah. You can't tell that to somebody who's never had money before.
Who's struggling to eat.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, all I need is money.
Yeah.
So yes, you need money, of course. Yeah. But
it can't solve all your problems.
No. Yeah. In here, like money won't solve those issues. Yeah. Those have to be solved. Doesn't matter how much money you have to resolve those within yourself. Sure. But that being said, suffice to say, you do need money, of course. You do need to work. You do need to make money. Those are all things that need to be done. And so I started feeling like depressed, and I was like, I need to make a change. And that's when I decided, I'm going to go to Ethiopia and make my first vlog series.
Oh, wow. That's how now you came back to Ethiopia.
Nice. So you saw that first series. That was about 6 months ago now. I'm fairly new to the game. Yeah. But that was my first series. And the reason why I chose Ethiopia was just because of my affection and love for the country and the people. And I think they welcomed me very well the first time before I started vlogging. So I was like, let's see how it goes. And I don't think a lot of content creators cover Ethiopia. And if they do, they only cover tribes or like poverty or like famine, but they never actually show the other sides of Ethiopia. They only want to show
This is the reason I'm not going to Omo Valley, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to be in that statistic.
Yeah. I don't want to just show tribes. Listen, that is one facet.
It's true. Yeah, but it's not the only.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not.
Also because this is off topic, but because I'm Maasai too.
Oh, you are? Nice.
So people also are coming to
Kenya.
With that perspective. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go there to show the quick tribes. Yeah.
Because it's like, it's been done over and over again. Plus negativity. I'm not saying the tribal stuff is negative. I'm just saying the negative stuff that is shown. If you want to go see that, turn on BBC. There's a lot of negative stuff.
It's very easy to find that.
Yeah, so my goal is to...
especially in your screens in the States.
That's what I'm saying. It's all negative all the time. So my goal was like, I'm gonna try to show every place I can as positively as I can, while still showing the reality. You watch my videos, I'm walking around the streets, you will see reality of this country. But at the same time, you will see that I'm trying to reflect it in a positive way. Because like, life is what you make it.
Yeah.
You can go out every day and say, oh man, life's terrible, my life sucks, I hate my life, blah, blah, blah. And the negative energy that you put out is what you're going to get. Or you can step outside and be like, you know what? It's another beautiful sunny day. I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to keep moving. I have my legs. I have my brain. I have my mouth. I have my everything. All my faculties in check. I'm going to go outside and make this day the best as possible. You put out good energy, that's what you're going to get back.
I agree.